Hey kids, welcome back to another big one. With the release of Kingdom Hearts 3 upon us, I wanted to take a look at a few franchises with even larger gaps in between games. For the purposes of this list, we're going to count spin-offs, but not re-releases. Sorry Shenmue fans, but it's actually only been 8 years since your last game, and that gap waiting for Duke Nukem Forever seems a lot smaller when you look at all the crap in between. Anyway, let's get started. Starting off our list is the Kid Icarus franchise. With the first game releasing all the way back in 1986, and a Game Boy sequel following just a few years later in 1991, it took this franchise 21 years to see a sequel of any kind. Luckily for fans of the franchise, 2012 witnessed the release of Kid Icarus Uprising on the 3DS, and all those eagerly awaiting could rejoice that their dad had finally come home. Up next on our list is Killer Instinct. After the release of Killer Instinct Gold in 1996, it took the game's development company, Rare, a long 17 years to release the next game in the series. Talk about a big fatality, am I right, fighting gamers? Rounding out the middle of the list is the ever-exciting Punch-Out franchise. After the initial release of Super Punch-Out on the SNES in 1994, gamers were unable to bop their way to glory all the way up to 2009, with the fresh reboot of the series, aptly titled Punch-Out. Who knew gaming could be so much years in between the times when you go for it? There were 13 years in between Sam and Max games. Alright, everyone knows the big boy on this list. I'm talking, of course, about Half-Life. At the time of this video's release, it's been 12 years since Valve released the last installment in this beloved franchise, and with no word from them as to whether or not a sequel is being developed, this franchise may end up joining the list of longest gap between anything ever. Grand Canyon, here we come. I'm dead inside, and so is Half-Life. Well, that about does her. Wraps are all up. I hope all the Kingdom Hearts fans feel a little better knowing the last canonical release was only 5 years ago. So next time you're feeling like your series has taken a bit too long to get a fresh installment, just remember, time heals all wounds, and games were always a mistake. Maybe I need a big gap between releases.